Welcome back to another episode on the See Through It podcast. I am your host, Brian Sales. Today is Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Today, already know this is a community awareness, life topic. So before we get into it, we gotta do the promotion. We gotta promote everything that we're doing here so we can grow. We gotta promote everything that we're doing here so we can grow. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please, as you see it there, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, join the conversation there. When I do go live, there's the chat room that you can also be a part of. Please take part in that chat room. Also, if you're following, or I guess you can't be following, but if you're on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. As you see that, SeeThroughIt_podcast. Absolutely. If you're on Facebook, please like the Facebook page. Join the conversation there. Help me get those numbers up on that Facebook page there. Also, you can contact me at Gmail, SeeThroughItPodcast@gmail.com. So greatly appreciate that. And then we go to PayPal. If you'd like to donate to the show, PayPal.me/SeeThroughIt. If you like to purchase a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or anything like that, or if you just simply like to donate, if not, that is fine and dandy, but you can reach me through PayPal. I see we have a lot of people already flowing in. We're done with the plugs, Papa. We're done with the plugs until a little bit later. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching this through via Facebook, I'm not sure if you can see this via Facebook. If you're watching this on Twitter or Periscope, let me know by saying hi or something. If you are able to, there we go. I see it. I see you. Use those emojis throughout the topic when I'm talking or whatever. You don't agree with something or you like what I'm saying, use those emojis. I encourage you guys to use those emojis if you're on Facebook or Periscope. Thank you for tuning in there. Let's see. I think we have an issue. Is there? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the notifications. I know every now and then Facebook will go out. Every now and then YouTube will go out. It's up and down. Yeah, so make sure you have that. If whenever they do fix notifications, make sure you already have that notification plugged in so you can know whenever I go live, you see it and you can jump right on in. So that's that. The topic for today, I was supposed to have a guest, and my guest, I guess, bailed on me. I sent the text out earlier this morning. I'm an early bird. I get up early. So I sent the text out early this morning and there was no reply all day long. Kind of disappointing. When someone gives you their word, you expect them, you expect them to, carry out what they told you they was going to do. It didn't happen. But anyway, we keep moving along. You can't put all your faith in man. You have to, you have to keep rolling. Sometimes people are going to let you down. You got to keep rolling. So, but anyway, today's topic, as you see in the corner right there, Black History Month is February. And the episode, would they be leaders today? I am talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. This is going towards the Black community. As Black History Month rolls around, I've never been really a fan of Black History Month. I've always felt like we shouldn't actually have that month. But then after talking to my mom, and she got me to see and understand that everyone's month, everyone should have a day, and everyone's history should be covered. Played a vital role in the makeup of America. Everyone's history should be covered. And if we don't know our history, we can't move forward. If we don't know our past and our struggles, we can't make the right decisions in the future. You see what I'm saying? If we don't know what we've done before in our eras, we can't make the right decisions in our future. Just to be a big old circle constantly. So it's good that we know our past, know our history. But there's a thin line. We can't use our history and our past as a weapon against each other. We should be able to have a conversation about our past and our history. I agree. I see that there's no Hawaiian. I see that there should be every culture in America should be recognized because again, like I said, it had a vital role in the makeup of this country. But we'll get into more. We'll get into more of that towards the end. The topic: would they be leaders today? I don't know if they will be leaders today. I I don't know if they would be leaders. As I look at our generation and I see that we've and I'm talking about black people as a whole. Like I don't know. I don't believe they would that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King would even be heard. I think they would just be another person, another human being walking around trying to get people to either unite or divide. Malcolm X was he was a divider. He wanted everything to stay separate. He wanted no parts of no one. He wanted each community to be their own. That's who he was. That's what he felt was best, and that's what he wanted. Martin Luther King wanted to unite, to bring everyone together. In today's age of everyone trying to divide everyone and the media being the biggest of them all, I don't know if anyone would listen to Malcolm X. Oh well, Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. I think everyone it would just be a big mess. I believe it would be a big mess. Personally, in my community, I grew up, like I said, I grew up in Alabama. I grew up in Alabama, and I seen and I experienced racism. It doesn't bother me when people say racism don't exist or they never seen it or anything like that. It doesn't bother me because, like I said, I've seen it, I experienced, I know what it feels like, and I don't want no one to experience that. So if they don't believe that it's there, that's good. That they never had to experience it. But it is a sick feeling to feel the divide when you go into school and you're being looked at because you're different based off your color without anyone even knowing you. It's a horrible feeling. Yeah, I'm just thinking about all of that and replaying all that back in my head. It's just, and then to realize where we came from that time frame or that period of in history, and to see where we're at now, how my people are constantly killing each other over anything. How my people are fighting over nothing, losing their lives over weed, guns, shoes, just dumb stuff. When I think about the people that came before to try to set a path for us to have equality, I think their voices would fall on deaf ears today. I think their voices would fall on deaf ears today. Because today, everyone is just worried about having the newest or the latest shoes, car, jewelry, chains, want to have stacks of money on their ears, and that's what they're consumed with. And forget, I can't say they forgot because they never experienced it. They never experienced discrimination or the separation, the segregation. They never experienced it. So I can't say they forgot where they came from. It's like my mom said, they never experienced it. They never had to deal with that. So if Malcolm and Martin was around today and he was just looking at how people carried themselves, I think they would be disgusted. Absolutely. I feel like they would be disgusted. I feel like Martin, if he was around today and he saw what was taking place politically, or not even politically, well, I'm not even going to go that route, just in the community, in the black community, I think he would put his head in his hands in disgust. Because this is not what he fought for. This is not what he fought for. Malcolm X. I think he would put his head in disgust. Even though he wanted separation, he wanted the community to be strong. He wanted the community to be well educated, well efficient on their own. Not someone else's food, not someone else's poor entertainment. Today, everyone wants to entertain. No one wants the education. No one wants to do anything on their own. They're looking for handouts. Malcolm X was against the handout. If you know Malcolm X background, he was stupid. I'm not going to say stupid. He was illiterate. He had to teach himself to read. He was in and out of jail, and he taught himself how to read. Got in with a different group of people and became educated. And further along in his life, was an excellent speaker. I don't believe that man could stand and look at the community and be like, this is what I died for. This is what I died for. I see we have a lot of chats. Let me see what's going on in the chat room. I was told that I need to be a little bit more engaging, so I'm going to try to be more engaging and still stay on topic. I agree with you, Serenity. I would still hope that because if anything, we need more leadership now to unite the people. Let's see what else we got here. I'm scrolling through the chats. Okay, so if I see something interesting, if you have any questions, and I'm not saying I know the answers or anything like that, but again, like I said, this is my point of view. I'm trying to give you a different point of view of what life looks like. And again, we don't all have to agree on it. The whole purpose of the show is we see what each other is saying. We hear and listen and be like, okay, you know what? I see what you're saying. I might not agree with it, but that's fine. I hear what you're saying. So maybe later on down the line, something happens and I'm like, oh, what he said now makes sense. What I'm trying to do here is make sure we have open minds and we're able to have open dialogue. Have these conversations without trying to chop each other's head off. It is fine to disagree, but there's a right way to do it. It's the right way to do it. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I told my wife, we had this discussion, I think last week, that if I was back in the 60s and going through what I had went through when I was growing up in Alabama, I probably would have sided with Malcolm X. And that's just strictly based off what he was teaching, not the violence part, but that we should just be separate. Because when I was going to school in elementary, and it's crazy to think that it was this harsh in elementary school, but it was. Um, yeah, I even just thinking about it takes me back. I don't want to really like go into it, but it was crazy. And to think that maybe I would, if I was in the '60s, I would have been like, you know what, Malcolm maybe has a point. But I'm glad. I'm glad. Let me be clear. You understand what I'm saying? I am glad that we're all united. I'm glad that we're all united. I'm glad that people paid attention to more what Dr. Martin Luther King was preaching or teaching. Because I couldn't even imagine what this country would look like if we were separate. I couldn't even imagine. It would probably look like the Middle East, but inside the country. That's exactly what it would look like. It would look like the Middle. We would have these wars with like how Turkey and Hungary and all of them are constantly battling. And the only way for this country to move forward was for us to unite. Only way this country could have made it was for us to move to unite and become one. So I'm happy that Martin's teachings got through to people and it united different people from different races to join in on the struggle of the civil rights movement, to unite, to say that all people are equal. Let me see. Let me take a little gander here. Let's see what we have in the chat room. I see a lot of people are chatting it up. Yes, that is absolutely right. When Malcolm X found the truth, it took him out. His own brethren too. His own brethren took him out because he found the truth. But yeah, ooh, that's big. I'll have to fix that later. But earlier this week, I saw a post on Facebook where people were. I'm sure many of you guys seen my tweet about the anchor lady that was that said the N word or whatever she said. She said what she said. I'm not gonna cast judgment on her or throw stones I'm not gonna throw stones at her. That's between her and God. I'm not her boss, so I don't know if she still has a job, but anyway, she said what she said, and that became an argument on Facebook, and people were trying to decide if it's okay for us to be calling each other that. Now, here's my stance on it. I don't use it. A word that was derived from another word that had negative all around it, and you take it from and want to use it as a word that makes no sense. That makes no sense. The word was negative when it was created. You can't take a word out of that word and try to say that it is now a word of endearment. It is a word of respect. You can't make me believe that lie. Somehow my people have become so comfortable with using that word that they've lost the whole meaning of the word. Literally, there was comment after comment, over hundreds of comments about them trying to defend using that word on each other. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X wasn't like that. I find it hard to believe that if they were around, that our generation will listen to anything that they're saying. If it's not money, sex, drugs, violence, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging anyone's lifestyle. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. But we're all going to be held accountable for what we've done. We're all going to be held accountable for what we have done and what we have not done. I don't know if they would still be leaders. Spot on. I don't know if they would still be leaders. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Malcolm X, Martin Luther King would still be leaders for the black community? I don't believe in the NCAAP or whatever their initials are. I don't believe in them. A lot of things I don't see it. Do you believe that they would be leaders? Would people listen? And that's just not for blacks. Would anyone listen to them trying to, or well, Martin Luther King trying to pull everyone together? Would anyone listen? Let's see here. I like that, Tommy. Oh my gosh, that's so huge for this comment. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, that's horrible. I gotta fix that. I don't know what just happened. My comments just blew up on my page. I gotta fix that. But it was a comment by Tommy. That takes a lot to for a person to like be like acknowledge that there was, and I don't see why people don't want to acknowledge that. You know, we're not the most perfect country. You know, we have some flaws, but we're working through it together. If we can all acknowledge that, hey, we got some dirt in this corner, we got some crumbs under this rug over here, but you know what? We pulling it together. We gonna get all that mess up, and we gonna do it together. The problem is when we deny that we have dirt and crumbs all over the place. That's the problem. Then the anger, attitudes, it just people start getting angry because people are lying or not admitting that, yes, these things happen. Once we're able to say, you know what, these things did happen, but if we all work together, we can make tomorrow better. We can't fix what happened in the past. There's no time machine, folks. We can't go back and correct what happened in the past. But what we can do is when tomorrow comes, we have a plan to fix that day. We have a plan to fix the days ahead. We constantly are fixing and making things better for everyone in this country. Would they be leaders? Would they be leaders? Maybe. Maybe. Absolutely. Let me see if I can get this comment up here. There we go. There we go. If we don't acknowledge our faults, how can we move forward? We got to acknowledge our faults. We got to acknowledge our faults. Oh, let me get that verse up here, Papa. Papa's always dropping verses. He's always dropping verses. I always go back and read them and try to get an understanding of what he's putting out, and I try to tie it to what's going on in the day, and dissect what the scripture is saying. Papa is always dropping out verses. Yes, like my wife said, we have a lot of black influences, and it seems like the black culture is easily influenced by negative, easily influenced by nonsense. I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes it harder for me as a parent to try to instill good values and morals into the kids when they see everyone around them doing whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, without any repercussions. They're doing it. No one's saying anything. They're having fun. It makes it hard. I wish we had more influences of positive. I mean, I go through my Facebook timeline. I'm just seeing all kinds of just like, why? Why is this happening? And then I listen to the music and it's just so violent. It's poisoning our youth. But February is around the corner. It's Black History Month. And all that somehow stops. What's the point of a month of history if you don't take it and change your life? Change what you're doing for the better. What is the point of knowing your past and still continuing in the same way? Black history is it's around the corner. Let me see what else I have here. I'm happy that we are all together. I'm happy that we are all together. We are all under that Martin Luther King's teachings equal. One day we'll get to a place where we're all can celebrate one another. One day. As long as we're able to listen and carry on. Listen and carry on. This is just my point of view. This is just what I see. This is how I view it. I am proud of being black, but first and foremost, I am a man. My color does not represent me. My color does not make me any better or any worse than anyone on this planet. I'm a man first. The color is just what God put on me. My mom, there's a story. We used to go to school and we used to come home. And I remember I used to come home all the time. Mom, this white boy did. My mom would stop me. The who? What does white have to do with anything? Is it changing the story? I'm like, no, ma'am. Well, what are you telling me that he's white for? What does that do? I didn't get it until I got older. Stop describing people by their colors. We're not perfect humans. Let's just be real. We all have some type of discrimination in us. When we see certain people, we be like, I don't know. You know, like that's just being honest. I'm going to talk about me. I see a certain group of people or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. Prejudice. We have some type of prejudice in us. But it's up to us. Are we going to project our prejudice onto those people, onto that person? See, I acknowledge, yes, I do look at certain people like, what is that person doing over there? Or that person's judging me. Like I'm thinking that. But then I go to that person. How you doing? I'm talking to them. I decided that, hey, yes, I have this thought, but I'm not going to project my feelings and what I'm thinking onto this person, because that's not right. Never judge a book by its outside, by its cover. Excuse me. Never do that. We all have. I can't say we all, but I'm speaking for me. I know I've been walking somewhere, or I've been somewhere, and I've been looking like. But I acknowledge that I had that, and I say, I'm not going to project how I feel on that person. I'm gonna allow them. I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves to me. I'm gonna get to know them before I already cast my own judgment onto them. That's not fair. It's not right. It's not right. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. Boom. What else we got here? Again, thank you for tuning in to this topic. Um, I thought I was going to have a back and forth with someone, but I didn't. And maybe I've had many guests that I've invited on and was ignored or whatever, and maybe it's for a reason. Maybe they was going. I can't say that they were going to put out something negative, but maybe what I'm saying is just need to be heard. Something logical and open-minded needs to be heard more than all the noise that we have going on in the news media. See, and it's okay to, it's okay to acknowledge that I, I look ever since 9/11. I'm more alert of anyone. Like it doesn't matter who they are. I'm looking at everybody, but I can't cast that fear or that judgment on them because I might react a certain way for no reason. So if you're able to, you know what? I know that I'm thinking this, but I'm not going to project this on them until I meet them. And then they can show me who they are. They can label themselves. Never put a label on anyone. Let them label themselves. Let them show you who they are. Let them show you who they are. That's all I got, folks. That's all I got. But I have the 1964 Nobel Peace Prize speech from Martin Luther King. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, just a little excerpt from the speech. I felt like it was pretty close to what we're dealing with in the times. Not too close, but 1964, Martin Luther King won this award. He had to go to Oslo, Norway. I guess that's where they hold it. And he gave this speech. Thank you. Let me see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. What's going on. Does anybody want to mention anything before I jump into this speech? Like, is there anything that, if you, like, again, I'm not a professor. I'm not a doctor in anything, or like I'm a person that made a lot of mistakes and have learned and tried or have done my best to correct, to be a better person. Yeah. So I don't, again, I don't have the answers. This is all from my point of view, from what was instilled in me when I was younger. The values and morals and being in church. This is just what I see. I'm not saying it's the answer to anything. I'm just giving you a different point of view so that if you may encounter something, you might make that connection like, boom, I see, okay, that's all. I grew up in Alabaster, Alabama. Alabaster, Alabama. Alabaster, Alabama was, it was a town or a city that was starting to grow. And I haven't been there in a while, but I've heard it has just blew up. My daddy was born in Montevallo, Alabama. We spent a lot of time in Selma, Alabama, because I have some aunties down there, and yeah, just throughout the whole state, we've been through a lot of places, and I seen enough. But I did I do miss Alabama. I do miss Alabama. Alabaster. Yeah, Alabaster has grown. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this. I don't want to hold you guys any longer, but here we go. This is the Nobel Peace Prize that was awarded to Martin Luther King in 1964. All right. I am mindful that only yesterday in Birmingham, Alabama, our children crying out for brotherhood were answered with fire hoses, snarling dogs, and even death. I am mindful that only yesterday in Philadelphia, Mississippi, young people seeking to secure the right to vote were brutalized and murdered. And only yesterday, more than 40 houses of worship in the state of Mississippi alone were bombed or burned because they offered a sanctuary to those who would not accept segregation. I am mindful that debilitating and grinding poverty afflicts my people and chains them to the lowest rung of the economic ladder. Therefore, I must ask why this prize is awarded to a movement which is beleaguered and committed to an unrelenting struggle, to a movement which has not won the very peace and brotherhood which is the essence of the Nobel Prize. At the contemplation, I conclude that this award, which I receive on behalf of a movement, is a profound recognition that nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral question of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to violence and oppression. Refraining from violence and oppression without using violence. One day we'll get there. One day. I mean, we halfway there. We're halfway there. We just need to open our minds and have conversations. If you don't agree, walk away. We don't have to shoot each other in the streets over no Jordans, over a chain, over a block. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Black History Month is February. If you're listening out there and you don't like how things are going and you don't know your history and you plan to partake in this Black History Month, learn the history. Know what your people went through. know what they had to overcome for you to be able to go out and act a fool. I find it disrespectful. I could never disgrace my last name. I couldn't be an embarrassment to my family or to my past. I refuse to be someone else's fool. I refuse to be someone else's fool. So just let that sink in. Let that sink in. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and jump into our promotion. We gotta promote. We gotta promote the show. We gotta promote the show. We gotta promote the show. Thank you, Papa. Hey, Toph. Gotta promote the show. So if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. And if you hit the thumbs down, please give me a comment. Let me know what you didn't like about the video. If you hit that thumbs up, fantastic. Just hit that thumbs up if you can. If you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, SeeThroughIt_podcast. Facebook, facebook.com/SeeThroughIt podcast. Give it a like, share it, join the conversation there. Email me at SeeThroughItPodcast, SeeThroughItPodcast@gmail.com if you'd like to donate to the show. PayPal, boom, there it is. PayPal.me/SeeThroughIt if you'd like to purchase anything. Oh, here's my other brand, Warriors Collection. I don't think you can see it, but I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram. But here is another brand that I'm pushing, Gym, and, for my military and, meatheads out there. But if it's for anyone really. But yes, that is all of that. Thank you for tuning in again. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. I was so nervous and jittery about this show because I wanted someone else's voice, but so be it. We're going to keep rocking and keep doing what we're doing. Make sure you're here Friday. We got the Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to have, hopefully, JB from Sports Talk on. We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl. So make sure you're tuning in. That'll be a live show on Friday. So make sure you're tuning in for that. Absolutely. You got to learn to, laugh. You got to laugh. Smile, laugh it off. So, again, thank you for tuning in. And remember, I think I got 2 cents. I wrote something else down. I think I said it earlier, but we must remember our past so we can have a better future. Remember that. Don't get agitated about the past. If someone's trying to use the past as a weapon, end the conversation and walk away. But if you're having a discussion about the past to learn from the past, learn from it and move on to have a better future. That's all. And the saying, don't be blinded by the media. Hashtag See Through It. I am your host, Brian Sells. This is the See Through It podcast. I'll see you guys Friday. Peace.